So, same mayor, Mayor Hancock, fought increased city council oversight for his big hires in Denver. But you know, the process didn't go so badly for him today. His pick to lead the airport took questions from a city council committee that now has some oversight. And then they voted unanimously to move to the full council. So it certainly suggests that Phil Washington is going to get cleared for takeoff at DIA. That place is not simply an airport. We know that it's an enormous employer in our state and also a big economic driver. So our Marshall Zellinger was listening carefully when Washington talked today about enlarging the airport.
So let's talk a little bit about the elephant in the room.
A lead-in like that makes this council meeting more interesting than some. Councilwoman Amanda Sawyer, who led the effort to require council approval of mayoral appointees, asked DIA CEO nominee Phil Washington the only direct question about the investigation into his old employer, LA Metro Transit, an investigation that Washington told me last week is a review of the transit agency and not of him.
Wondering if you feel like that will in any way, shape, or form inhibit your ability to do your job as the executive director of aviation if you're confirmed?
I don't believe it will. It hasn't up to this point.
And from there, these council members seem satisfied, though it took almost an hour to get to this.
We have a couple elephants in the room, and the one that I don't think we've addressed yet is the Great Hall project.
Councilman Kevin Flynn asked the first question about the construction project at DIA that was supposed to move both security areas to a more secure area, but only has enough money for one to move.
The top priority has to be the original intent, and that is the relocation of security.
He said he has seen diagrams of a partial and full construction completion, but did not say how much a full project might cost. He did talk about how he wants DIA to increase revenue and add jobs.
We're building one additional runway. I think we ought to be moving forward now and planning for at least 2 more. We're planning 39 additional gates. I think we should be planning for 50 more.
His only slip up seemed to be when he almost called DIA what we call DIA.
Managing by walking around, if you will. There's a lot of walking space at DIN.
And by walking around, Washington said he hopes to understand the problem he's heard about but has not seen.
There's been reports of employees staying at the airport, sleeping in stairwells and all that kind of thing. I want to know what that looks like and what I can do about it.
Yeah, I've asked the mayor's office for more information about that. Washington told council the DIA success relies on business travel coming back, not vacationers, but business trips. And as you saw, his council hearing was still happening by Zoom, so we're looking at business travel when council can't meet in person yet. Now, this did not get brought up in the questioning, but it caught my eye, Kyle. Ahead of today's meeting, city council members were provided letters of recommendation in support of Washington. These two stuck out to me, both from former RTD board members when Washington was GM of RTD. I won't read you the paragraphs, but the highlighted portions are almost identical. Jeff Walker, who wrote the one on the left, told me he shared his thoughts with Lee Kemp, the author of the one on the right. Kemp told me he never saw what Walker wrote, but wrote down some of his talking points, kind of like a Vanilla Ice Queen thing going on. The council committee that questioned Washington moved it to the full council 6-0. All 13 members of council will vote on July 12th. So you just need one more for 7 and the approval of the new DIA CEO.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be Phil Washington. But my larger takeaway is that while you're currently job hunting, Marshall, Steve and I should not write identical recommendation letters for you. They should be somewhat different. There was a joke going on Twitter from one of the mayor's staff that said you want that to be an identical, staying on message. You want a similar message. So I guess in some way it's like, okay, at least they're on point. I'm not saying that you were worried about your first day back in the studio with me, but you did bring a helmet.
I need my whoopee just in case.
Yeah, everybody remember the Zephyrus helmet from behind Marshall in his home studio? Oh, RIP home studios. Thank you, Marshall. Good to have you back.